Today is Donna McClurkan. Donna is an end-of-life doula. Her passions include facilitating chalice circles, local food pollinator habitat gardening, and visiting schools, libraries, and hospices with her certified therapy dog, Stormy. In June 2024, the 7 principles were replaced with the language describing Unitarian Universalists through a set of shared values, all centered around love. The UU value, interdependent, states, we honor the interdependent web of all existence. With reverence for the great web of life and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. Donna's reflection explores living deeply into that value in the context of these turbulent times. This exploration was informed by the wisdom of 2 elders, Joanna Macy, who was an environmentalist activist, author, and scholar of Buddhism, general systems theory, and deep ecology, and Francis Weller, a retired psychotherapist, writer, and soul activist. He has introduced the healing work of ritual to thousands of people. I welcome Donna to the pulpit.
Thank you. Good morning. About midsummer, I attended a liturgy of remembrance. It was held outside in a clearing on a heavily wooded 17-acre sprawling parcel of land that is home to a retreat center. It was the cusp of early evening, mercifully free of stinging insects. There was a light breeze. It was cool compared to the too hot, too humid days preceding the service. There was prayer. There was music, a guitar and solo song. 12 of us in a wide circle, 4 generations by my calculation. The 2 youngest, sisters that I'm guessing were perhaps 7 and 10, asked to sing a song they learned at their school. Straining, cupping my hands behind both ears toward their shy quietness, I could hardly hear. But I could feel, and what I felt in the presence of 11 others was a great tenderness, a great honoring among the gathered. Humility, reverence, grief, gratitude. We were together to honor the passing of a white oak, a towering giant that emerged as a seedling from a small acorn 200 and some years ago. A relative, as generations of indigenous peoples have reminded us, or tried to. We learned from her obituary that Grandmother Oak, so named by the land's steward, toppled over in a windstorm on June 18th. Spared by loggers because of her shape, she was the largest and oldest and only surviving tree from when the Potawatomi lived with and cared for this land. In her long, long life, she fed and housed wildlife, sequestered approximately 6 tons of carbon, and witnessed the forced displacement of First Peoples by European settlers. The musical meditation we'll be listening to during the offering is called Lament for a Fallen Tree. As you listen, you might note the ending is quite abrupt. Maybe that was the composer's way of expressing there is no ending, really, for a fallen tree. Grandmother Oak will continue to provide nourishment to the soil web, a large hollow cavity, perhaps providing shelter for wild turkeys and other creatures. During her decades-long return to Earth, she'll be woven back into the genius loci, a Latin term meaning the protective spirit of a place. I'll pause here to acknowledge that being invited to such a ritual would have been unthinkable for me just a few years ago. I like to hope I would not have rolled my eyes at an invitation, but I'm pretty sure I would have scoffed at the woo-ness of it to be honest. Why is that? That just a few years ago, why I would have considered a ritual for a fallen tree too new agey or woo, there's some sadness and maybe a little embarrassment in admitting to that now. It's something I've wondered about a lot. I think it's the Western worldview that mostly explains what would have been my reaction. Our one-sided relationships with the human and more than human are overwhelmingly transactional, extractive, exploitative, rooted in scarcity, and hierarchical, with humans always at the top. This is the society in which we're all caught, hyper-individualistic, human-centric, as if Earth and its species are mere resources for human flourishing, as if we're wholly untethered from the natural world, an illusion of separateness. It is not a stretch to connect this to our many converging crises. To that point, I confess to carrying in my body a quiet, persistent unsettledness about the state of the world. I don't need to spell this out in detail. We're all experiencing it, consciously or not. But in general, the uncertainty, unraveling, unrelenting, unprecedented everything everywhere, on fire or underwater, are lessons in just how completely entangled our lives are with one another and the more than human world. We are losing so much, too much. It's too much. We did not evolve to be able to process such overwhelming disequilibrium, but this is the work. Much will be, is being asked of us. How will we respond? The elders that tell us that primary among the skills we need to navigate this unprecedented chaos and loss is to grow our capacity to grieve. Our grief is collective. We face a deep unknown, all of us. The elders teach us that the gift of grief is the affirmation of our intimacy with the world. We are reminded that where there is grief, there is love. Allowing for it widens our capacity to hold hard things. Grief keeps the heart fluid and soft, which helps make compassion possible. Learning to welcome, hold, and metabolize our sorrows, the personal along with the planetary, is the work of a lifetime. The elders teach us that by allowing ourselves to feel the pain for the world, we open up to the web of life. Open, as we heard in the guided meditation, to the pulsing of the web, its murmurs, whispers, tugs, and realize we are not alone. We go now through a dark place, but we do not go alone. There is nowhere you can go where you're not held in the web that sustains us all. Humans have participated in rituals for tens of thousands of years. We are hardwired for communal ritual and ceremony. Rituals can be a form of deep resistance to the way we've been conditioned to live. There's resilience in resistance. Now, I think of participation in the ritual for Grandmother Oak as an embodied knowing, a remembering of a thing my body knew but forgot. We are not separate. It felt then and feels now an act of resistance. So much is being asked of us. How else might we respond? The elders tell us that in addition to increasing our capacity for grief, another primary skill we need to navigate these turbulent times is the ability to deepen our capacity for gratitude. The elders teach us that gratitude for the gift of life we are granted, The privilege of being on hand in this moment is to take part, if we so choose, in turning toward a just and regenerative society. Gratitude quiets the frantic mind and brings us back to source. It reconnects us with basic goodness and our personal power. It helps us to be more fully present to our world and readies us to own our pain for the world. There is much to do, and time is short. Gratitude can hold us steady for the work to be done. We know from the elders that grief is meant to be done communally, to be witnessed. We heal in community and celebrate in community. We are wired that way. Internalizing these things in unlearning society's hyper-individualistic messages about going it alone is a form of resistance. It is also the work of a lifetime. It has helped me live into and answer the question, what do I want to be in these times? And to live more deeply into the UU value of interdependence, which I'll close with repeating once more. We honor the interdependent web of all existence with reverence for the great web of life, and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. Thank you.